Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
Developed for athletes of all sports, PSM's Edge training program is a personalized, high-intensity experience designed to help you outperform the competition. Whether you're looking to enhance your speed, strength, power, agility, or overall fitness, our expert training staff will build a program that adapts to your schedule while maximizing your overall performance. Now accepting athletes 12 years old and up. Get started today. Schedule your free evaluation at psmsports.com/edge.
I started playing football when I was 4 years old in the Cub Football League at Leo. My freshman year of high school, I really started to notice that there was something different about how I played compared to what some other people were playing like. So then I started to develop more. I started to see the results, and then being able to go to Iowa was a big opportunity for me. Being able to train here with PSM has really given me an edge over my competitors. Working on my speed, that's the name of the game nowadays, is who's the fastest guy on the field. Being able to put my body in different positions to allow me to be in the best position during the game is so important to not take those days off and just get into a place like PSM where they have flexible hours, and it's good for college athletes to come in and just train.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions, together we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
At PSM Sports Therapy, recovery is more than getting you back to your sport. It's about building a stronger version of you. Our team of experts uses state-of-the-art technology to build personalized care plans that get you healthy and back in action safely. With no physician order needed, contact us directly to receive top-quality care exactly when you need it. Call 260-266-4007. Visit one of our Fort Wayne locations or go to psmsports.com to learn more.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Tired of waiting for a doctor's referral to start physical therapy? At Indiana Physical Therapy, you don't need a prescription. You have the power to choose where you go for expert care. Our experienced therapists will help you get back to doing what you love. With over 19 locations, getting the care you need has never been easier. Take the first step towards a healthier, more active lifestyle. Visit IndianaPT.com to schedule your appointment today.
Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Here, every athlete is one of one. Every day is an opportunity to improve, to become faster, stronger, healthier. That's our commitment. With elite training and expert care, we transform athletes by pushing through challenges and sharing every victory. PSN, you've got goals. We help you get there. Learn more at psmsports.com.
And welcome back to the cage here on the campus of Concordia Lutheran High School here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm Thad Goff. Matt Jackson's running the camera. And we might just have a fun ball game for you tonight between the Southside Archers and the Concordia Cadets. We had a fun ball game in the girls' game, and Hunter Sosenheimer's behind me talking to Matt Jackson. Hunter, a former broadcaster of ours who's now an assistant coach at Concordia. He just gave a little sigh of relief because Concordia won that game after being down by 13 against the Southside Archers. And who knows what we've got in score for the boys' varsity matchup between these two teams. Southside does have the better record coming into this game. However, Concordia has a little bit more size, a lot more size actually. They've got Evan Armstead, who plays very well inside the post. He's 6'5". Caleb Masasu gets in the game from time to time. He's 6'6". And you've also got Karsten Sheets at 6'4". Maybe he comes in, maybe he doesn't. He wears number 21. Charlie Lang is 6'4". Now he can step out and knock down threes as well as playing on the inside. He had 3 triples in the win against Canterbury. But all that to say that Concordia has a lot more size than the Southside Archers. The tallest guy that Southside has is Cameron Charlton at 6'4". Second to him is Braylon Terry, who stands at 6'3". Other than that, it's a lot of 6'2" guys and shorter, some guys even shorter than 6 feet tall. But what the Archers lack in size, they make up for in quickness, great shooting, and great defense. Southside likes to pressure you. They like to create turnovers. They're very good at doing it. And when they can do it, they're good at getting out and running in transition. And they've also got guys who can shoot from the outside, especially when you think about guys like Javon Irby, Terrence Jordan, and Corte Wallace. All 3 of those guys are juniors, and it's worth mentioning that KJ Alexander, not averaging double figures in points per game. However, he's a guy who is capable of scoring at a high level, whether it's from the outside or in the post, and he often plays in the post, getting a lot of rebounds and creating a second chance opportunity for the Archers, even when he's one of the smaller guys on the floor, which is frequently the case. He's 5'11", and a lot of the guys who play down on the post are taller than himself, but KJ does not quit. He's got a great hustle to him, a great demeanor to him as far as I can tell, and a lot of these Southside Archers have a lot of great hustle to them. They've only lost once. That was at the hands of the Homestead Spartans last week at Reichert Gym. The Archers did bounce back from that and knock off Marion on Saturday night. So they're back in the win column, and their record overall at this point is 13-1, while Concordia comes into this game at 4-8 on the season. Right now, it's time to get a few words in from our sponsors. It is because of our sponsors that we're able to do all these high school games that we bring you on SummitCitySports.com. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. Tom Steel Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process, from bid to build. Visit ottenwellercontracting.com to learn more. And also want to mention that looks like the Always 100 Academy Drills and Skills series of camps are underway, going from August 11th of this past year to May 28th of this year. Camps are on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 5 to 6:30 p.m. It's for kids grades pre-K through 12. You'll get to work on dribbling, shooting, passing, and defense. For more information, call Always 100 at 260-444-2788 or go online at www.always100basketball.net. The Academy Drills and Skills camps take place at the Parkview Sport One Fieldhouse here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Got just under 4 minutes until we get this game underway. We'll come back after our next break. You're watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions, together we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
We are back here at the Cage at Concordia Lutheran High School, and the band music you're hearing is coming from the Concordia Pep Band, led by Jennifer Porath, who teaches band over here. And I was wondering if we might see maybe the Concordia a cappella choir leading the national anthem tonight. We didn't see that tonight. We have seen that in recent years in the past, but I don't know if we'll see that tonight, although usually Concordia will have a little color guard performance before each boys basketball game, so we may get that, as well as the JROTC coming out and firing off the muskets before each game. They're not real muskets, and they're not firing off real bullets, so just to quell any concerns that you might have about that. But we may get plenty of back-and-forth basketball here. Again, Southside is a team that likes to go up and down the floor very quick. Concordia has plenty of size on their roster, so if they can take advantage of that, they might be able to hang with these Southside Archers. For Southside, if they can get up and down the floor quickly, and if they can win the battle on the boards, as well as finishing when they have those scoring opportunities, Southside will at least be able to hang with these much taller cadets that they'll be going up against on the floor tonight. What's coming up next for these two teams? Well, obviously this is the game that they're focused on, but for Concordia, their next game will be a week from tonight against the Snyder Panthers. That's on the road, a team that Southside beat earlier this year on the road in overtime. And for Southside, their next game will also be a week from tonight as they take on the Carroll Chargers over at Don Reichert Gymnasium. But again, the focus for tonight for both of these teams is this particular game, Southside versus Concordia. And I can tell you that I was able to reach out to head coach J.J. Foster before this game of the Southside Archers, and I talked about K.J. Alexander, and even though he's a short guy, how he's able to create second chance opportunities, fight for rebounds, and score in the paint when given the opportunity. J.J. Foster said, quote, KJ is a tremendous athlete that is quick, fast, and he gets off his feet at an accelerated rate that helps him battle for rebounds with bigger guys. He is also very shifty with his offensive moves, and that has allowed him to get to the basket to finish his layups. We are working with KJ to use that same athleticism to challenge defenders when he is off of the ball, and that is the end of that comment from head coach J.J. Foster leading up to this game against the Concordia Cadets. Could be a fun one. Very well could be a fun one, as we've got less than 2 minutes to go until the game gets underway. Right now, do have another word from our sponsors, a couple more words from our sponsors that I can give you. It is because of our sponsors that we're able to do all the games that we do here on SummitCitySports.com. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on X at 260 Sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area from ages 5 to 18. Jump on board. Together we can reach the summit. Speaking of volleyball, it'll only be a couple of months, I believe, before boys volleyball gets underway. Yes, boys volleyball is a sanctioned sport in the IHSAA once again, and I know we had some boys volleyball broadcasts for you last year. I imagine we'll have some on Summit City Sports for you again this year. I know Joe Northern took a lot of those broadcasts and probably will get some more. And Jaron Matheny does a lot of volleyball during the during the fall season for the girls, and I imagine he'll do a lot of it for the boys as well. We'll have to wait and see on that. And I know Concordia will have an early season boys volleyball matchup against Columbia City. That's late March. I believe March 23rd is when that particular matchup takes place, which will be here at the Cage. That's just one of many boys volleyball games coming up later this season. But we got a good boys basketball game coming up in just a few minutes. Concordia versus Southside here at the Cage. Just a moment, we will have the national anthem, I think, unless they just did the national anthem before the girls' game and they're only doing it then. But I know that here at Concordia, they often do a little color guard presentation before the national anthem and then a JROTC presentation as the starting lineups for the Cadets are announced. They did that when Concordia beat Canterbury back on Tuesday night to get to 4-8 on the season. And if Concordia can come away with a win here, they do have a chance to go on a run. Now, again, they've got Snyder next week. That's their next game. But if Concordia is able to string together a couple of wins, they might just be able to go on a good long run and maybe get back to 500, maybe even get beyond that by the time the season ends. There's certainly a lot of promising talent for this Concordia team. Southside, meanwhile, trying to keep up the good work. They're 13-1, suffered their first loss of the season last week. Looks like they're going to start announcing the lineups.
Starting in guard, a senior from the name of St. Michael, number 2, starting another guard, a junior from Woodside, number 3, Eli Trump. Starting the forward, a junior from St. Peter's, number 14, Rashawn Johnson. Starting the forward, a senior from the name of St. Michael, number 30, Charlie Flagg. Starting the forward, junior from the name of St. Michael, number 32, Evan Armstead. In order to promote sportsmanship, ethics, and integrity in high school athletics, it's important to lead high school athletes participate in classes to support your own team without making an aspect of your opponents, but being some other schools very officials. Your cooperation is good.
Well, in case you missed it, the starters for Southside are Josh Sandoval, Javon Irby, JT Timberlake Johnson, Terrence Jordan, and Corte Wallace. For Concordia, it's Clayton Goodman, Eli Trent, Rashawn Johnson, Charlie Lang, and Evan Armstead. Now, Rashawn Johnson can step out and shoot it from beyond the arc. He's about 6'3", so he adds some height. Now, putting him right next to JT Timberlake Johnson, he's only an inch above Timberlake Johnson, and the Cadets win the tip to start out this ball game. Clayton Goodman gets the screen from Armstead. Charlie Lang can hit from the outside. Chooses not to pull it that time. They go to Armstead on the inside. I would think that Armstead would get a whole lot of touches in this game. They do have Timberlake Johnson on him. He's the tallest guy on the floor right now for Southside, but Goodman, the guard, puts it in for Concordia's first points. And the Archers come back down the floor. Here comes Sandoval. Corte Wallace puts it on the deck. Lost his dribble. Swings it out to Terrence Jordan. His three is long, but Timberlake Johnson with the stick back as it rolls around and in. Cross court to Johnson. Tough shot. Trent missed it. Armstead couldn't put it back. Irby down the floor for Jordan. Jordan is fouled on the way up. That's going to be on Clayton Goodman, and Terrence Jordan will go to the free throw line to shoot two. Well, last I checked, New Haven had a pretty good-sized lead over Leo, and they still do. 22-12 the score over there, and the Bulldogs just added to that lead. The Archers have officially taken the lead with Terrence Jordan at the free throw line. Terrence Jordan was held to just 1 point a week ago tonight against Homestead. He did come back and finish, I believe it was 16 points the next night against the Marion Giants. Cadets do get the ball across the timeline. Southside likes to trap a lot. That's one thing you're going to have to deal with. They dealt with it so far on this possession. As Goodman gets through the paint, the floater is good. Contested floater, and Clayton Goodman hits it. He's got all 4 Concordia points so far. Over to Irby. Archers have guys who can shoot the three, but nobody's hit one yet. Jordan has shot one. Sandoval splashes that one home. And the Archers jump into the lead. They get it to Trent. Trent draws the double team and finds Rashawn Johnson. Charlie Lang can hit from out there, and he rattles that one home to tie it up. Great start to this one here in the cage. Charlie Lang on the board, and Armstead had forced the turnover, and now Johnson has it. Lang down the baseline. Sandoval cuts him off. Trent through the paint, off the glass, gets his own miss. And Armstead, I'm not sure if he was trying to shoot that or pass it off to Johnson. Either way, it turns into an empty trip for the Cadets, and here come the Archers. Irby trying to feed Timberlake Johnson, and that'll go off the hands of Goodman before it goes out. 5:26 left to go here in quarter number 1. That's the Concordia student section. You can't see it, but it is to my left, and it looks like just about everybody's decked out in some kind of sports gear, whether it's football, baseball. There's a combination of both. We got one guy with a Tin Caps jersey, one guy with a White Sox jersey. Looks like a Paul Konerko jersey. That's going a ways back. Picked up by Trent. Pull-up jumper is good. He had Corte Wallace right in his face, and Trent knocked it down. Of course, Paul Konerko was part of that White Sox World Series back in 2005. He was a consistent power hitter for the Sox. Timberlake Johnson through the paint. No! Armstead had the board but couldn't secure it. Sandoval, book it! And the Archers go back on top. Josh Sandoval, 2 threes already in this ball game. And again, Southside's going to pressure the ball a lot, but here comes Johnson, and he scores! We are off and running here at the cage. Timberlake Johnson, no shot. Well, of course there was no shot. It was a pass. We've got a foul on Concordia. It's only the second foul this game. Both have gone on Concordia, but they lead it by 1. Back and forth we go here at Eugene Parker Court, or the cage as they affectionately call it. Timberlake Johnson. No, it's Jordan. Terrence Jordan off the window. And Jordan going for the takeaway, and I think he's going to get tagged with the foul. And indeed it is Jordan, the first Archer foul of this game. 4:06 to go here in quarter number 1. Trent finds some help with Johnson. Back outside to Johnson. Poked away. Timberlake Johnson forced the turnover. There he goes for the finger roll. JT Timberlake Johnson created it, and then capped it off with points. Extra pass. Charlie Lang in and out. And Timberlake Johnson recovers along the baseline. 3-point lead for the Archers. Here's KJ Alexander. Little guy, but he does a lot in the front court as well as the back court. Irby! Shake and bake and knocks down a three. Javon Irby his first triple, and we get a foul in the backcourt as Johnson was just ready to split that double team. That's foul number 2, I believe, on the Archers, and it is on Josh Sandoval. Ike Eggold will check in for Concordia. Phil Brockman and J.J. Foster are the two head coaches. We're standing next to each other, as coaches often do before each game. I think Brockman may only have an inch or two on Foster. They're both tall guys. Goodman kicks to the corner. Not too long ago, Byron Pickens was a head coach in this town for the Wayne Generals. Lang stays with it, but he missed the shot. Byron Pickens might have been the tallest boys basketball coach in this area at the time. He's down in the Indy area, if I'm not mistaken. Jordan had a little trouble with that pass at first. Swings it across the paint. Extra pass, loose ball. Alexander and TJ stay with it. Timberlake Johnson, that is, but he missed the runner. And here comes Johnson. Johnson fouled by Irby as he was going for the takeaway. Perhaps a jump ball. Would have been Southside ball had that been the call, but instead it's a foul on Irby. Third team foul on the Archers. Was not on the shot, so it will be Concordia basketball down on the baseline. Southside's got one foul to give. But the Archers are on a 7-0 run. Here's the freshman Charlie Bailey. We saw Charlie Bailey do a good job rebounding against Canterbury on Tuesday night. I believe he came up with 9 points in that game. Boy, Johnson had to feed that through a whole lot of traffic, but Armstead puts it in. He made it worth his while. Back outside to Jordan. He'll kick to Irby. Oh, Irby had space. I thought he was going to fire that. Instead, it's Alexander blocked. Evan Armstead. And here come the Cadets. Eggold feeds it outside to Johnson. Armstead will get his touch once again. He spins around Timberlake Johnson, and Armstead puts it home. Great move by Evan Armstead. Give him 4 points for the night. I had a feeling that Concordia was going to look to Evan Armstead a lot. He's got the last 4 points in this game for Concordia as they've slowed down what was a 7-0 Southside run. The dish outside to Alexander. Zips it through traffic. Timberlake Johnson with the deuce. JT Timberlake Johnson has 6, and here's that press from Southside. Eggold crosses the timeline, and Eggold is fouled. That's team foul number 4 on the Archers. They no longer have a foul to give here in the first quarter. 51.2 seconds left to play in quarter number 1. The next Southside foul will put Concordia at the line for double bonus. New Haven now leads Leo 32-15 in the second quarter. And Northside is also taking on Northrop. We'll be checking on that score here in just a second, but right now it is Concordia ball with under 50 seconds to play in this first quarter. Bailey out on the wing. He's 6'7", and he's a freshman. Showing a lot of promise for these Cadets. Johnson zips it outside. That's Ethan Sloan. Contested jumper, rolls right off. Good defense there by KJ Alexander. Meanwhile, Tavion Morrow comes in off the bench for the Archers. Wallace left alone, but he missed it. But there goes Wallace hustling after Johnson, and he pokes it away. Jordan, one man near him, won't catch him. Corte Wallace not giving up on that play. And here comes Eggold down the baseline. Turnaround jumper, and that will end the first quarter. Couple of mini runs to close out the first quarter, and it's Southside up by 6 as we go to the break and come back for the second quarter on SummitCitySports.com.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Tired of waiting for a doctor's referral to start physical therapy? At Indiana Physical Therapy, you don't need a prescription. You have the power to choose where you go for expert care. Our experienced therapists will help you get back to doing what you love. With over 19 locations, getting the care you need has never been easier. Take the first step towards a healthier, more active lifestyle. Visit IndianaPT.com to schedule your appointment today.
Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Well, how about this? We got a little T-shirt toss going on here at the cage, as looks like staffers from here at Concordia are throwing T-shirts into the stands for whether it's the students or the fans. They are throwing them into the student section. You know, I may have to correct myself from earlier. I think that White Sox jersey says Canseco, not Canerco. I say White Sox because it looks like White Sox colors. Or is it Carrasco? Yeah, it's not Canseco. It looked like a CA. Takeaway by Wallace. He zips it outside to Alexander. Check that. That's not Alexander. That's Tavion Morrow. Wallace showed some good hustle just a few possessions ago as Wynn misses that three ball, and Ike Eggold has the board for Concordia. Armstead sips it outside. Armstead's got 4 points in this game. Lang's hit 1 3, didn't hit that one, but Armstead keeps it alive. One of the benefits of having a big 6'5" power forward on your roster. And Lang was being held, could not get his arms free, and that's going to be a foul on Corte Wallace. With 7:13 to go, Concordia will keep the basketball. As head coach Phil Brockman calls out the play, Charlie Bailey did not start this game, but he remains in. He's 6'7". We have seen him step out and shoot the three. A lob inside, too tall for Lang. Well, that time he got his hands free, but Wallace with some good defense, and Lang couldn't make the catch. 7:03 left to go here in quarter number 2 as the Archers take over up 6. Terrence Jordan comes across the timeline. Alexander into the paint. Has to give it up to avoid that 3-second violation. So rarely called in the game of basketball these days, but it is still part of the rules. Feed outside to Alexander. Alexander, the floater, no, but an offensive board by Vincent Wynn. And Jordan has space, but missed the three ball. And there's Bailey, the freshman, for the board, and he gets fouled. Southside, I believe, did commit 5 fouls, or at least committed 4 fouls in that first quarter, and that's already 2 on the Archers here in the second. That one was on Vincent Wynn. Bailey's got to get it in. He does. Bailey comes across the timeline. Looks for help. And he finds Armstead, who's got Timberlake Johnson on him. Bailey makes a couple of moves, but he missed the shot. Jordan poked it away. Nobody ever grabbed it for Southside. Bailey did, but he missed again. And then Timberlake Johnson with the board. Here comes Alexander. Alexander through the paint, and he scores. Knocked out of bounds. They're going to say off Alexander, despite that make on the last Southside possession. As subs will come in, Josh Sandoval will take the place of Terrence Jordan. Rashawn Johnson and Clayton Goodman will enter for Concordia. Ethan Sloan and Charlie Bailey go to the bench. I'm always tempted to call him Champ Bailey by mistake. Champ Bailey was a cornerback for the Denver Broncos. He's no longer in the NFL these days, but I'm sure he's happy to see that the Broncos are still in the playoffs. Charlie Lang gets in the paint and puts it home. Speaking of the NFL, I know Southside has had a couple of graduates who have gone off to the NFL. Bernard Pollard, a guy that you often see on our ads, went to the NFL, played for the Chiefs, won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. Lamar Smith, the former running back for Southside, was a starter for 2 years in a row with the Miami Dolphins and part of a really good run game during that time. That ball gets knocked out of bounds. It's off Concordia. Of course, after the 2001 season up to the 2002 season, the Dolphins traded Lamar Smith and ended up getting Ricky Williams. Lamar went to the Panthers. Ricky Williams came over from the Saints. But one thing the Dolphins did with Lamar Smith they didn't do in the early years of Ricky Williams' career was go to the playoffs. We've got a foul called on Rashawn Johnson. That's the first Concordia foul in quite a while. Committed 2 early ones in the first quarter. But then they saw Southside commit basically 6 straight. 6 straight in the sense that Concordia hadn't committed a foul in a span of 6 fouls. Here's Wallace. Timberlake Johnson feeds it back outside to Wallace. Oh, Alexander wasn't ready for it. Dish to the corner, that's Johnson. Goodman drives and finds Armstead. Lang will spot up. Missed the 3 ball. Lang's hit a 3 already in this game, but he's missed his last 2 or 3, and that was a hard swat by Johnson to the scorer's table. Luckily, everybody's okay over there. That ball hit the front section of the scorer's table, and it will be Southside basketball. Terrence Jordan back in the game, and now Javon Irby's about to come off the bench. And he will check in for Corte Wallace. And Irby will inbound the basketball. Irby directs traffic. Sandoval goes baseline. Sandoval's hit a pair of 3s in this game, but that time a great dish to Timberlake Johnson. And JT Timberlake Johnson has 8 points to lead all Archer scorers. 8-point lead for Southside. Concordia has led in this game. That was in the first quarter. So far they have not led in the second. Armstead will set the screen for Eli Trent. Johnson for 3. Couldn't bank it home. Tip back out to Johnson. That was Lang who tipped it out, but that's going to be waved off for traveling. Well, so often on those drives to the basket, the officials will let that go, but that time they say Johnson took too many steps. Timberlake Johnson sets the screen for Jordan. Jordan spins around. The lefty shoots with the right. He missed it, and Armstead has it swatted back, volleyball style, by Timberlake Johnson, although it does end up back in Concordia's hands. Lang wanted to shoot it, poked away, but recovered by Lang. Timberlake Johnson trying to stay toe-to-toe with Armstead. Trent feeds to Johnson. Johnson left it short, got it back, putback goes. Rashawn Johnson keeps it alive on the glass. Alexander with the fake, puts it home. A good find by Irby. That's 4 points for KJ Alexander. This 8-point lead is the largest lead Southside has had in this game. Now, we did just see the Concordia girls team come back from 13 points down. Jordan just forced that turnover, but Alexander turns it right back. Charlie Lang on the attack, through the paint, got it! How about that play by Charlie Lang? That was a fearless drive. And Lang has 7 points to lead all Concordia scorers. Sandoval catch and fire. Couldn't bank it home. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. It's Goodman across the timeline. Irby will pick him up. Good screen by Armstead. That shot won't fall. But Eli Trent with the offensive board. Lang's three comes up short. Here comes Timberlake Johnson. Little no-look pass. And Terrence Jordan finishes. I thought he was going to go to Irby. And he went to Jordan instead. That ball gets loose. Jordan goes after it. Makes his move. Missed the reverse. He had Timberlake Johnson on the opposite side. And another takeaway. That's Alexander. Jordan puts it home. And timeout called by Concordia. I believe that's the first timeout that Concordia has taken in this ball game. While they take that timeout, we're going to go ahead and show a couple of replays. These replays, as always, are brought to you by Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. And this is just the Archers, getting out and running. Timberlake Johnson, little no-look pass. He looked to Irby, went to Jordan, and Jordan puts it home. And the Archers, go up 8 at that point. Cadets need to respond. But right now it's the Archers taking care of business here in the cage. You'll see it again here as Jordan pokes it away from Lang. Does miss the shot, but able to stay with it. Meanwhile, KJ Alexander got the takeaway there, and then Jordan able to put it home to make it a 10-point lead in favor of the Archers. Their largest lead of this game. And I've got Terrence Jordan for 10 points. That's what they have him as here in the gym. We've got 1:17 left in this first half. Do have an update from Northside versus Northrop. Northside's leading that one 20-17. Northside had a big win earlier this year against Elkhart. Elkhart has been struggling on the basketball court in recent years, but they've really improved under a new head coaching staff. For Northside to come away with a win, that was huge. Here's some pressure by Southside. The Cadets almost beat it, but Armstead couldn't handle the pass. Wayne and Bishop Dwenger are also in action. They're in the second quarter. Wayne's got what's now a 5-point lead, so Dwenger coming to play. But Wayne had a big win against Norwell back on Tuesday night. A week from tomorrow, they'll have a big home game against Penn, but they do have 3 games, including the one tonight, in between now and then. As Armstead grabs that board, 40 seconds to go. Johnson down the floor, and it just crawls home for Rashawn. Wallace gets it to Alexander. He's in trouble. Wallace is open. Missed the 3. Chases it down. And that's knocked away. Jordan did not need to do that. I thought that ball was touched by Concordia. Jordan went after it and apparently stepped out of bounds. But now Concordia's got time. They can make this a 2-score game. What did he make from the field? There's 17 seconds left. Armstead gets a great look. As good a look as you can ask for. And he caps it off. 6 seconds. 4 seconds. Sandoval. Blocked by Johnson. And the clock runs out. Another mini run, this time by Concordia, to close out the first half. Southside was up 10. Concordia is now within 6. Well, we had a huge come-from-behind win for Concordia in the girls' game moments ago. The Concordia boys are trying to do the same against the 13-1 Southside Archers. But right now, Southside with a 6-point lead. They've been up by as many as 10. And right now, it is time to hear from our sponsors. It is because of our sponsors that we get to bring you all these great high school games on SummitCitySports.com. That, of course, includes the folks at Parkview Sports Medicine. Earn your edge this season. PSM's Edge training program maximizes your athleticism through personalized performance training to reach your goals and get you to the next level. Visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com/edge to schedule your free consultation. It's become somewhat of a back-and-forth game. Now, yes, Southside led all the way throughout. That second quarter was back and forth early on in the first quarter. Southside led by 10 in the second, but Concordia did manage to score 4 straight points to ultimately close out the second. And I think we got a couple we can show you right here. I think this is the attack by Rashawn Johnson. Yeah, that's Armstead with a good strong board, and then Johnson puts it on the deck, finds his lane, and gets that one to crawl home. And then just ultimately one possession later, Evan Armstead with perhaps the best look you can possibly ask for off an inbound. I think he got it right off the inbound, but we'll show it to you here. This replay, as always, brought to you by Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. Yeah, John Armstead gets down the floor, puts it home, makes it a 6-point ball game. And Concordia's within 6 at the half. Southside still with the lead, and we are back after this on SummitCitySports.com.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions together, we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
Well, it's 31-25 in favor of Southside here at the Cage. Concordia did score 4 straight points to close out the first half. That gets them within 6. So we could have a fun finish in store here in the second half. But right now it's Southside with the lead. And I'll give you the leading scorers in just a moment. But right now it's time to give you a few more words from our sponsors. Again, it is because of our sponsors that we get to bring you these great high school games on Summit City Sports. Jolly Law Firm is the area's best criminal defense firm, helping defend the accused from the government, whether you are facing an OWI or any other criminal accusation. Jolly Law Firm is the answer. Sioka Cleaning and Restoration, providing commercial cleaning services, including janitorial, water damage, and state-of-the-art disinfecting services throughout Northeast Indiana. And online degree programs at the University of St. Francis are built for convenience and flexibility. Most degrees can be completed in 12 months. Visit online.sf.edu. Well, it's time to let you know who's leading the way in scoring in this game. Now, for Southside, the scoring leader right now is Terrence Jordan with 10 points. He had 4 straight late in that first half. JT Timberlake Johnson with 8. Josh Sandoval with 6. He's hit a pair of threes. KJ Alexander with 4. And Javon Irby with 3. For Concordia, they're currently led in scoring by Charlie Lang with 7 points. Rashawn Johnson has 6. At least as I have it, he's got 6. And looks like that's what they've got it here at the gym. Evan Armstead also with 6. Clayton Goodman with 4. And Eli Trent with 2 as well. So those are the scoring leaders for this game so far. And right now I'll go ahead and update you on what other games are going on in the area. DeKalb in boys basketball had a 14-6 lead over East Noble at the end of quarter number 1. But East Noble has fought back. They've taken the lead 20-19, and that game is now at halftime. Did have a score earlier from Wayne versus Dwenger. Looks like I might be able to bring that score up for you right now. And, yep, we've got it. Wayne leads that one 36-27. Now, it looked like Wayne was up double figures not too long ago, and Dwenger does have the basketball, so they got a chance to cut into that one. New Haven had a big lead against Leo. Be checking on that one here in just a second. And it's an even bigger lead for New Haven, 51-21 in the second quarter against their conference rivals as well as their East Allen County Schools rivals. In fact, one thing I can say about Leo versus New Haven is whenever those teams get together, you're going to see a lot of purple, whether it's the purple and gold for the Dogs or the purple and black for the Leo Lions. And right now the Dogs are barking in the Lions' den as they just scored. I think that was Darion Cryer who just scored that last bucket, 53-23. New Haven on top of Leo over in the Lions' den. We had a close game between Northside and Northrop not too long ago in boys basketball. We'll see if that's still the case. Right now they're at a commercial break, so we'll stick around for just a little bit, see if a score comes up there or if there's more left in that break. We've got about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left until halftime gets done here at the Cage. And like I said, right now it is Southside on top of Concordia, 31-25. And now we will be back after this break. You're watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions, together we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
31-25 here, Southside on top of Concordia. I might be able to show you a few more replays before we get this second half underway. I believe this was a possession where KJ Alexander went quick down the floor for the Southside Archers, and KJ Alexander does a lot of things at a high level. This time he's able to cut through the paint, fake the shot, and get the basket to go. KJ Alexander, great rebounder. He's only 5'11", but regardless of his height, he plays very well in the painted area. Of course, I know that painted area is not really painted. It's more or less finished here at Concordia, but that is what they call it. They call it the paint or the key or the lane. All kinds of words can be used to describe that painted area. 3-second area, that's the one that Dick Vitale often likes to use. Still trying to get an update on that Northside Northrop score. They're still in commercial break for now. And I know one other game going on is Homestead versus Southside. I think it's safe to say Homestead won the girls' game. They were up big time last time I checked, and Homestead still has a great basketball team in this area these days. Trying to get a score update there, but right now that broadcast is at commercial as well. Now, Southside's come up with some big wins recently, Snyder has come up with some big wins recently, including against New Haven and against Kokomo. They were supposed to play East Noble on Wednesday night over at Kilmer Court, but that game ended up getting postponed with all the snow in the area and the slippery roads. And at this point, they have that game postponed until January 27th is when the rescheduled date is. Had some snow here in Fort Wayne today, but the snow did stop probably about 2 or 3 o'clock, soon enough for folks to get on the road and make their drives. And I did see a score for a brief moment from that Homestead-Snyder game. It showed that Snyder was up 37-24, it looked like. Right now they're interviewing girls head coach Rod Parker, who I believe was a winning coach today over Snyder. So Homestead girls with a win. Homestead boys will be trying to fight back against the Snyder Panthers in the second half. And here Concordia will start with the basketball as we begin quarter number 3. They did score 4 straight points to close out the first half. got it back to a 2-score game. Charlie Lang catching fire. Missed it. Comes up short. That ball's poked around and picked up by Timberlake Johnson. Timberlake Johnson trying to go all the way. Got it back and put it back. JT makes it happen. There's a 1-3-1 zone by the Archers as Trent goes cross court to Goodman. He'll fire a 3. That is long. And Timberlake Johnson with the board right over Armstead. That's a bigger man than himself. Blocked by Trent. Eli Trent swats it away in transition. And he keeps it a single-digit ball game. For Concordia, they're going to have to be smart with their ball movement, especially if Southside's going to play a lot of zone. Looks like they're still in a 1-3-1 as the ball comes to Goodman. Johnson has Armstead down low. He does get it to him, and Armstead missed it. Johnson couldn't stick it back, and here come the Archers. It's Jordan down the floor, leaning in. Blocking foul on the shot. And the Boo Birds come out from the home crowd. They got Clayton Goodman for the foul. I'll reset my fouls here. The fouls reset at the end of each quarter. Concordia does have one now with that foul. It's the second on Goodman. And Terrence Jordan will go to the free throw line. Jordan, such a reliable ball player all around. He's not scoring in double figures last year, but when he was on the court, he typically would play at a very high level. And this year he is scoring in double figures, one of the leading scorers on these Archers, but he goes 1 for 2 from the stripe. Rashawn Johnson comes down the floor, outside to Trent. Trent wanted to fire, but Jordan got to him. Trent slips it across the paint, and Armstead with a tough catch. Armstead has Timberlake Johnson on him. That's a carry, and I could see that from up here. That was a good call. Jordan across the timeline for the Archers. He finds Wallace. Southside undersized compared to Concordia, but it's a quick team and a team that can shoot, as you can see right there, from Terrence Jordan. And they take their biggest lead of this game. Give Jordan 13 points. He leads all Archer scorers. Extra pass, Charlie Lang. Swatted away. That's Jordan. Check that, it's Timberlake Johnson, and he goes to the rack to stuff it, and I think he's going to get a technical foul for hanging on the rim too long. He does indeed. Well, Timberlake Johnson has 12 points in this game, but this is going to be 2 shots in the ball for Concordia. Charlie Lang at the free throw line. The replay is worth showing to you. As Lang misses that first free throw, it's worth showing to you because it was a great play by Timberlake Johnson, aside from the fact that he committed the technical. Great steal. You know he's going to jam it down, and then pulls himself up off the rim, and that's where he got the technical call. So the second free throw was good, meanwhile, for Lang, so it's a 12-point game. And it will be Concordia basketball because of the technical. And you wonder if that could change the momentum of this game. It might if Concordia is able to score here, but they're not going to. It's Jordan. No, it's not. It's Timberlake Johnson again with another hard flush. That time just went with one hand. Timeout, Concordia. JT Timberlake Johnson. 14 points. Have a night, young man. And once again, turning defense into offense, something that this Southside team is so good at. You'll see an example of it right here. Timberlake Johnson got his hand into the cookie jar. And he's eating. Big time stuff. 14 points for Timberlake Johnson. He leads all scorers. Terrence Jordan not too far behind him with 13. Concordia looked like they had a little bit of momentum going into halftime, but Southside has turned momentum back in their favor. They've held Concordia to just 1 point. That was the free throw after the technical foul. It's a 9-1 run by Southside. And they lead it by 14. This is their largest lead of this game. 5:19 to go in the third quarter. We're checking in on some scores from around the area. Jaron Matheny's over at Leo tonight, and they're trailing 58-23 at the end of three quarters. New Haven with the lead over there in the Lions' Den. Looks like the Bulldogs have 10 threes in the ball game, and Lavelle Ledbetter has 11 points. New Haven will be at Norwell next Saturday. I don't think that's their next game, but it is one of the upcoming games, especially in conference play for the Bulldogs. Clayton Goodman has it. They get it to Armstead. And Armstead's somebody who wants to get his touches. He got his touch that time, but a foul. Corte Wallace doesn't like it. He thought it should have been a jump ball going to Southside. But they get Wallace for the foul. He thought he had him tied up. That is the second team foul against Southside. And an opportunity for Armstead here at the stripe. One down. Two for two. Now for Concordia, their only points this quarter have come from the free throw line, but when you get opportunities, you got to knock them down if you want to get back in the ball game, and that's what Armstead just did. Irby directing traffic, looking for some help. He finds Alexander. Alexander spins around, fires one to Irby. That's appropriate. Alexander's a quarterback during football season for Southside. Irby's one of his running backs. Irby missed that three ball, and that's going to be a foul on Alexander. Alexander likes to play around the rim and create offensive rebounds. That's what he was trying to do there, but this time it cost him. 4:17 left to go. Also, Wayne leads Dwenger 40-29 in boys basketball. That's our most recent update. Lang gives it up to Armstead. That Snyder-Homestead score is actually 37-23. Johnson's three won't fall, and there he is again, Timberlake Johnson. The feed to Wallace. He lobs it. That's swatted out of bounds by Armstead. The ball will stay with the Archers. But a good job by Armstead getting up there to prevent any kind of lob play. Well, the lob happened, but there was no dunk off of it. Kind of an over-the-shoulder catch there by Irby. Something you'll see some running backs do. Turn and fire for Jordan. Offensive board, Irby was right off the hands of Armstead. Wallace's three doesn't fall. Ripped away by Timberlake Johnson, and he puts it home. Oh, the Cadets with some missed rebounding opportunities. And JT takes advantage. There's Alexander getting back, but he swats it out of bounds. And fortunately, nobody's hurt after that sequence. He almost had a run-in with one of the Concordia cheerleaders. Luckily, he was able to avoid that. Johnson gets free and gets two. Eight points for Rashawn Johnson. Concordia's been down by as many as 14. They need a stop here, but Alexander not going to let him have it. And one. KJ Alexander up to 6 points, and Snyder has upped their lead 40-23. Make it 43-23. Chance to Rossett. Just hit a 3 ball. Well, Snyder lost to Southside in the opener. Homestead beat Southside last week as that's blocked by Jordan. Armstead puts it back. Good stick-to-itiveness, Evan Armstead. Or, excuse me, I gave those points to the wrong team. Evan Armstead's got 10 points. Jordan fires a 3. No good. The threes were falling early for Southside, but lately they have not been. And Concordia's got a chance to get this back to a 10-point game. Armstead blocked from behind. Alexander. Bailey's got his back, though. He missed it. Little no-look pass to Wallace. Back outside to Jordan. I don't think Jordan's hit a 3 yet in this ball game. The Archers have hit some threes. Wallace has one of them. Irby's going for one. Doesn't get it. I was going to say, Southside beat Snyder earlier this season. Homestead beat Southside last week. If Snyder can hang on for the win against Homestead, there's a chance we'd be looking at a 3-way tie for first place in the SAC. There's a chance we'd be looking at that toward the end of the season. Southside at this point has only one conference loss. Homestead up to this point doesn't have a conference loss, and that game's not over yet. I believe Snyder's only conference loss so far was against Southside as Evan Armstead gets inside and scores. Back down to a 10-point game, and that is 4 straight points scored by Concordia. 4 unanswered, that is, after Southside went up by 14. But there goes Alexander, and he finishes again. KJ Alexander living in the paint. He's got 8 points. Speaking of Snyder, that's who Concordia plays next Friday over at Kilmer Court. It'll be a girls and boys doubleheader. And next Saturday, the Snyder girls take on Northridge. Bailey contested, missed it. Alexander got in front of him. Wallace was there too. Irby wants to go baseline against Armstead. Fearless attack, Javon Irby. 33 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Concordia needs a bucket. And it looks like they're going to try and be patient, hold for the final shot of the quarter. They go inside. Bailey, count it, and one. 15.3 on the timer. Charlie Bailey, the freshman, finally on the board. So freshman with a whole lot of promise. 6'7", good rebounder. Plays good defense in the post. And you got to think that his game will only develop as he goes on. As he completes the three-point play, but still 13 seconds left in this third quarter. Southside probably going to hold for the final shot. The feed to Sandoval. 5 seconds. Irby, one dribble, 3 ball. Rattles home. And that will close out the third quarter. The Southside Archers up by 14 as we get ready to go to the fourth. You're watching high school boys basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Here, every athlete is one of one. Every day is an opportunity to improve, to become faster, stronger, healthier. That's our commitment. With elite training and expert care, we transform athletes by pushing through challenges and sharing every victory. PSN, you've got goals. We help you get there. Learn more at psmsports.com.
So I tell the truth all the time, ain't got no sympathy for no. I admit that I'm rich and I'm lit. Jumping up on stages, I get 200 occasions, but I ain't really the game up we make. Shut they trap down. They see how I made it, I'm the reason they won't rap now. See me out in traffic, make a hater pull his
Southside with a 51-37 lead over Concordia here at the Cage as we start the fourth quarter. As the Black Eyed Peas bring us into the fourth quarter. Javon Irby hit that three just before the end of the third quarter. Threes haven't been falling for most of this game for Southside. They did hit some early threes. For the most part, it's been good defense leading to transition offense. Now Sandoval's going to spot up. His three won't fall. Johnson collects for the Cadets. Backdoor cut by Sloan. Goodman couldn't get it to him. Bailey looking for help. Now he can shoot from the outside, but he's going to put it on the deck here. Leans into his shot, and he scores. Charlie Bailey. Some good work in traffic. Timberlake Johnson swings it over to Irby. Alexander puts it on the deck, and he loses it off his own shoe. The Cadets will take over, down 12, but looking to make a run here in the fourth quarter. They need a bucket and then a stop. Perhaps a turnover. They just got one. Sloan will fire, and he hits a three. The Cadets are back within single digits. Ethan Sloan making it happen, and here come the Archers. Irby feeds to Sandoval. His floater spins out, and Clayton Goodman's got the board. Big opportunity here for the Cadets. Armstead makes a couple of moves. He traveled. Well, I tell you what, Concordia, they'd gotten a bucket there. That have brought the roof off this gym. The girls' team came back from 13 points down against Southside tonight. Wallace wide open, in and out. Another chance for the Cadets. Goodman turns it to his right. Bailey calls for it, gets the feed. Back up after the double clutch. And Concordia is within 7. Don't go away. Charlie Bailey, the last 4 points for the Cadets. They've been down by as many as 14. Irby, the floater, no! Alexander keeps after it, but he missed. And Bailey pulls down the board. Boy, what a difference a big 6'7" guy can make. He made a huge difference on that last sequence for Concordia. Johnson trying to go to work, draws the foul. The basket will not count. First foul this quarter against Southside. Last points for Southside were that three that Javon Irby hit at the end of the third quarter. Inbound goes to Bailey. He's been instrumental in this comeback effort. They were down 14, now they're down 7, but Timberlake Johnson gets the takeaway, and he's fouled in transition. That's going to be on Armstead. Boy, JT Timberlake Johnson is doing it on both ends of the floor. He's done it just about all night. So Southside gets the stop. Now they'll look to get some points and try and respond to this Concordia run. 5:18 to go. Timberlake Johnson right off the inbound. Timeout called by Southside. And as I have it, that's the first one J.J. Foster's used in this game. I've got a couple replays worth showing to you. Again, Charlie Bailey's doing it on both ends of the floor. Here he is doing it on the offensive end as he gets it as close as the Cadets have been for most of this second half. They were down 6 to start the half. Bailey, a little double clutch, and able to bank it in to make it a 7-point game. It was a 6-point game at halftime. Since then, this is the closest that the score has been. But then how about Bailey getting it done on the defensive end as he blocks the shot and ultimately secures the rebound for Concordia. So they've worked this game down to single digits. But then JT Timberlake Johnson gets it done first on defense, first with a steal, as he knocks the ball away from Evan Armstead and draws the foul in transition. Southside needed points after that. And who do you turn to when you need points? Well, in this game, JT Timberlake Johnson is a really good option. He's been a good option all night long. 16 points, make that 18 points for Timberlake Johnson. And several big defensive plays as well. 5:15 to go in regulation as Johnson does get to run the floor because of the made basket. They get it to Bailey across the timeline. Still an opportunity for the Cadets, but they turn it over. Up ahead, Alexander blocked. Was that Goodman or Sloan? That's out of bounds off of Concordia, and the crowd can't stand it. Boy, as I skimmed through the replay, that might have been off the Archers. The home crowd may have an argument here, but the call is what it is at this point. And you got to play through it. Both teams have been disappointed with the officiating at various times tonight. Sandoval looks inside, feeds that one over to Timberlake Johnson. Jordan fakes. Back to JT. Southside can afford to be patient here. They're letting time tick off the clock. Jordan will fire. Missed the three. He hasn't hit one of those all night. He's got 13 points, but he has not hit from beyond the arc. Clayton Goodman with the basketball for Concordia. He drives, dishes outside to Armstead. Southside is part of Class 4A. Concordia is part of Class 3A. Bailey, cross court to Armstead. He gets position, but he missed the shot. He did get it back, and the basket goes. Evan Armstead keeps things alive for the Cadets. They're down 7 with 3:34 to go. Irby's got space. Won't take the three, though. Right now, Southside trying to be patient. Each team has only one foul this quarter. Archer's trying to work some clock. There goes Irby. He dishes. Sandoval, book it! Josh Sandoval from downtown. That's his third three of the ball game. And Concordia is able to beat the 10-second clock. Inside 3 minutes to go. Goodman to the basket, scoops it in. And we've got a whistle. Concordia wants to get some subs in, and they're going to get them in. Trent, Lang, and Eggold check into the game for Concordia. .245 to go. Still a ball game. Southside's led by as many as 14. This quarter, Concordia's cut it as close as 7 down. Timberlake Johnson gives it up to Sandoval. Alexander to his right. Goes outside to Irby. Oh, that was a high dribble. Backdoor cut. Oh, Sandoval! Are you kidding me? Beautiful shot. Eggold able to beat that 10-second clock. Coming up on 2 minutes. Trent catching fire. No. Jordan chases it down. And he'll swing it to Irby. Jordan cutting through the paint. Puts it in. These Archers can get out and run. You just saw it right there. Terrence Jordan with 15 points. Armstead leaning in, missed it. Well, that was a huge opportunity that Armstead couldn't cash in on. Now Irby's got to beat that 10-second clock. He does. The ball swatted away by Johnson, but it looks like he stepped on the chalk, and he took a hard run into the scorer's table. He's trying to walk it off right now. Meanwhile, DeKalb leads East Noble 32-28 over in Kendallville. Little spin move. Jordan up to 17 for the game. Inside, and that's a foul. That's a hard foul and an easy call on KJ Alexander. 14-point lead for Southside. That matches their largest this game as we've got 1:07 left to go in regulation. And while they did go final over at Leo, New Haven won that one 65-34. I don't know that the Bulldogs will be at Norwell a week from tomorrow. Not sure if that's their next game, but I do know that they have that conference game coming up. Lang's three won't fall, and we're going to have a foul. Looks like it's on Eggold. It looked like a bit of a grab there by Eggold. Each team has 2 team fouls this quarter. We've got exactly a minute to go here at the cage. Johnson pokes it away, Southside ball. He lobbied for it. For a moment, looked like he might get the call, but that's not how it goes. 59.3 left to go here at the cage. It's Jordan. Slows it down in transition. And Southside can afford to be patient here. Timberlake Johnson feeds it off to Irby. Trying to run some clock and make Concordia think about fouling. Jordan fakes that three. Nearly a turnover. 36 seconds. Timberlake Johnson fouled on the shot, and if that had gone in, that would have been really impressive. Ike Eggold called for the foul, and that'll send JT Timberlake Johnson to the line. And now J.J. Foster will get some subs into the game. Tavion Morrow, who was in this game earlier, will check in, and I do see Cameron Charlton there on the sideline, along with Donovan Bell. And that's actually Caden Hine, a freshman who also plays on the JV team. Got to see him at the JV SAC JV Championship at Wayne High School, where Southside played Snyder. Now it's worth mentioning that Josh Sandoval, who has 3 threes in this game, his younger brother Jeremiah plays on the JV team. And Timberlake Johnson will get 1 free throw out of that sequence. He's up to 19 points. For Concordia, they need to beat the 10-second clock. They're down 15, going to be hard to come back with 28 seconds left in the game. Lang will fire, comes up short. Charlton goes for it, out of bounds off Charlton, right to the Concordia bench. 22.5 left to play in regulation. Johnson contested. Did Alexander get a piece of that? That one was blocked by Charlton. Armstead scoops it. He missed it, but he's fouled. Evan Armstead goes to the line as Cameron Charlton commits the foul. We've seen him hustle after the loose ball. Did see him block a shot. But this possession ends with a foul. It's not quite over yet. Armstead still has to go to the line. He does hit the first one. Evan Armstead will finish this game in double figures. He gets them both. He's got 16 points for the game so far. And only 12 seconds left. And Tavion Morrow will be fouled along the baseline. That'll be the 4th team foul on Concordia. The next one would put Southside at the line for double bonus. We've only got 9.7 seconds left in this ball game. Across the timeline, and Elijah Norman will just let that one bounce out. It'll stay Southside ball, and all they'll have to do is inbound and let the clock run. There's 3.8 seconds on the clock, and they get it into Bell. That's Vincent Wynn trying to end it with a made three ball. That doesn't go, but it does end with a Southside victory. The Southside Archers come to the cage and knock off Concordia 63-50. Well, what's coming up next for these two teams, you may wonder? Next Friday night, Southside goes home to take on Carroll. That'll be a 7:30 p.m. tip. Following Tuesday, they'll take on Huntington North, who's having a really good season. That'll also be at Don Riker Gymnasium. For Concordia, they'll go on the road to play Snyder. That'll be a week from tonight in conference play, and then they'll go on the road the following Tuesday to play Central Noble at about 7:30. It's the shout from the Concordia cheerleaders as they say, "Go Concordia, beat Snyder." That is who Concordia will play next. But tonight it is the Southside Archers who win in this boys basketball matchup at the cage, 63-50. Great defense turning into transition offense. We see that just about all the time from the Southside Archers. That's one of the things that makes them such a great basketball team. It's time to recognize our Parkview Sports Medicine players of the game, and those players are going to be J.T. Timberlake Johnson and Terrence Jordan. Timberlake Johnson finishes with 19 points. Jordan finishes with 17. They are your Parkview Sports Medicine players of the game. And that's going to do it from here at the cage. The Southside Archers win the boys basketball matchup 63-50. For my cameraman Matt Jackson, this is Thad Goff saying so long from the cage. You've been watching high school boys basketball on SummitCitySports.com. We've got more basketball for you tomorrow, including Northside versus Lures girls and Blackhawk Christian versus Lures boys. And we'll also have Belmont versus Norwell girls, among other matchups. See you tomorrow, everybody.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions together, we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.